We wanted to give our children a different example of what it is to have a life that is not merely about existence or surviving, but about thriving. Hey everyone, I'm Steven. It's my wife Carmen. We're the Gonzalez's, and we just wanted to share a little bit about ourselves. So we decided to venture out into the YouTube world, beginning with why we decided to leave. We moved from California and we lived our whole lives. We have 4 kids. That's all they've ever done in California. We struggled with the decision to move. We had visited Texas in April of 2019. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law live here. That was the first time where I was like, I could see myself living in Texas. Before that, California is pretty much all I ever known. You know, just was comfortable there. Friends are there, family's there, church was there. Everything was there. All the good food places that we like going to were there. All of the, nice spots we liked hanging out at were there. It was just a hard decision to make. Yeah, that was the first time that I considered the possibility of Texas becoming a reality when we visited in April 2019. Up until that point, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys, I thought that Texas was just flat dirt. That's what I thought it was. This area of Texas is, there's hill country, and it was, there was hills. It was green. It was pretty. We spent about a week here, and we did a lot of driving around. I did a lot of driving around.
Yes, he did.
And we'll probably talk about the crazy Texas drivers, but anyway, and that was the first time I considered it, but honestly, even then, I was in school full time then. The idea of moving my family 1,800 miles across felt daunting. Felt just like, why would I do this and leave everything that I'm used to behind? And the fear of the unknown, and will I be able to provide for them over here? I had a job over there. I worked for the city. It was a pretty good job, Come 2020, and certain worldwide events hit. And my wife and I and our 4 kids were, all of a sudden we found ourselves cooped up.
Trapped.
In a 1,100 square foot apartment.
1,099.
Oh, 1,099 square foot apartment. And I'm trying to work from home in our bedroom with constant noise, constant distraction, same thing with school. And my kids couldn't go to the park that was literally across the street from us. And it was really challenging. My kids spent way more time on tablets or TV or video games than they ever had before, because what else did they have to do? That's the time that I looked at my wife and I pretty much said, we can't do this, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. I saw the writing on the wall right off the bat. I knew there was gonna be no end in sight. I knew a couple of weeks were going to turn into months, possibly years. So I told her we gotta go. That's when the whole crazy adventure began. At first it felt like everything was against me personally, because I applied to so many positions and I think I had a total of 3 phone interviews. Everywhere else was thank you but no thank you. Even with all my banking experience, even with all the different things that I've done in my life, it was no, 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 or just crickets. I wouldn't hear a thing. In about August of 2020, we went to go have dinner with some very dear people. It's her Uncle Victor, who, not to go on a tangent or sidebar, but he is my best friend's dad and basically is like my second dad. And so I always call him Papa. It's her Uncle Victor. He challenged us with the thought of, what if the Lord wants you guys to move before he's going to provide? What if God says, move first and then I'll provide? Not I'm going to provide and then you have the comfort and safety of moving. So that was pretty challenging, and her and I went home and we had a couple conversations, and I already had been telling her, like, I don't think anyone's going to hire me until I have a Texas address.
And I didn't want to move.
Yeah,
I wanted to move, but I didn't want to move without a house.
She didn't want to move under those conditions.
Right.
So her and I had a conversation, and so we said, okay, if I don't get employment by October, we were just gonna pack up and leave and figure it out. A couple weeks go by, we have some very dear friends of ours, Bill and Julie, and Bill's been a great friend to me, and he said, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And I thought he was going to try to convince me not to leave California, try to talk me out of coming to Texas. But it turns out they wanted to offer me a job.
Yeah.
And it's a work from home job, so it allows me to live anywhere I want, and I can work from home. Yeah, I quit my job, started there September 2020, started the whole process of applying pre-approvals for stuff, and in November of 2020, we flew out here about a week or so before Thanksgiving. We spent 3 days looking at houses. We saw 11.
2 days.
This house that you see behind us, the little bit that you see behind us, I don't know if they're gonna actually see it. I don't know what's gonna be behind us. But anyway, whatever is there is the 11th house we walked into, and I took about 10 steps into the house and I said, this is the one. We made an offer, got accepted, and we were in escrow. The cost is too high for you not to try. No one is going to be in charge of our children's education at the program. Even in Texas, we homeschool. Our kids don't even go to school anymore because I said no. I'm through with allowing anyone to put propaganda on my children. We're going to educate our kids. We're going to raise them the way that the Lord has told us to raise them. We're going to guide them. We're going to help them become respectful, well-mannered members of society, but that also stand firm in their faith and in their beliefs.
He definitely presented not the options, because in the end we were going to make the decision for them to be primarily at school on campus or here with us, but they all chose to be at home, and now they're even seeing the many freedoms that they get to experience. Even with homeschooling here, there's so much freedom homeschooling here compared to California.
We wanted to give our children a different example of what it is to have a life that is not merely about existence or surviving, but about thriving. You can still do things in a certain way that allows you to have a life that you enjoy and that frees you up to serve the Lord in the ways that you want, that frees you up to not be bogged down with those cares, while also living in a place where, yes, there's more freedom. Yes, there's less restrictions. Yes, there's less interference from government and telling you how you're supposed to live your life, what you're supposed to do, and how you're supposed to raise your kids. That's what we wanted. And I think our kids see the value in that now. We see the value in it. I hope you do too. I hope if any of you are toddling on making that decision, I hope that you go for it.
And feel free to comment below if you wanted for us to even get in touch with you or just correspond and give more information. We're happy to kind of share more of how we made this happen, but even just encourage you. We want to be encouraged. So if you want to continue to see videos like this, don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment below.